Testing, testing.
One, two, 1, 2, check 1, 2. My new thing is I have on the camera and it lets you control it from your phone. And so I just do it with the timer and I've done a lot of photos of it. My whole website also like makes it. And it looks good. Yeah, I have a lighting thing, I have a new lighting package. It's like, well, if I know you're available, I'll do that too. Thank you. I mean, for me, it's like I kind of know what I want in a shop, and so when I've worked with other photographers in the past, they kind of try to push me around into things that were like, okay, that works, but I would have an idea to implement.
You sit alone on a really high hill underneath one tree, and every day your eyes are peeled looking at the waves, waiting to see the glint of a green glass bottle. You know, this is your bottle. And so basically, you know, you're just like, I'm gonna be telling about you, and so just sort of just like be up here, and then I'm gonna say, you know, one day the uncorker of ocean bottles, you know, took a bottle and, you know, read the note, and so here's your note. So you can just, when you hear me say that, just come over and take the note out, and hopefully you can read my writing. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So then, the narration is that you're gonna take the note and you're gonna go to each person, and I'm saying this on the microphone, but you're like go up to the, what'd you say, the blacksmith, the blacksmith, and say like, hey, I found this message. Do you recognize this writing? Is this meant for you? Yeah, just kind of show him, and like you'll hear me say that, and then you'll be like, that's not me. And then you'll go to George, and then you'll go to Taryn, and you'll be like, oh, and like feeling sad that you weren't able to find the person whose message this was for, intended to be, and then come back up here, and then you, Taryn, and George, while I'm narrating a little bit more of the story, you're gonna set the table. So you're gonna start with the tablecloth. You're gonna put the bowl of food in the middle, then the 2 candles, and the plates and the glasses on each end. It's just, I didn't want to carry a whole bunch of stuff down. Okay. So then you're gonna go back down because in the story the Uncorker of Ocean Bottles is like, I really should see if the person who sent that message, like, I need to apologize because they're on the beach waiting for their party to start, and like I need to tell them I couldn't find the recipient. And so you're gonna come down, and then there's this beautiful table set, and it's a party, and people are excited to be there, and you realize like you get to go to the party, you're not alone anymore, and there's like dancing and enjoyment, and the story ends. Okay.
I'm sorry, I was so caught up in the story. I was working on
When after you all are like, no, that's not me, no, that's not me, no, that's not me, then we will kind of either come back up here or go to the side, and then you all, as I say a few things, you'll set the table. Okay. Thank you.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take the spoken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to rise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird, fly. Blackbird, fly. into the light of the dark black night. 'Cause you were only waiting for this moment to rise.
And this moment has arrived that we are gathered together on this gloriously cloudy Sunday morning. Come in where we welcome the certain and the seeking, the lifers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted. All of you can find a home here at Throop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the heart of our homes. Hello to all of our friends and family gathered with us today on the live stream. One way we are loving the world, not this Monday, but on Monday, October 24th, is we are all invited to be part of a rally for a clean, green Pasadena. And we are gathering with eco and earth lovers from Pasadena and points beyond on the steps of Pasadena City Hall from 3:30 to 4:30. And we are urging the city of Pasadena to commit to 100% carbon-free energy by the year 2030. How many of you signed a postcard here urging your city council and mayor to say yes to this? Raise your hand if you were a postcard signer. And if you wish that you could have your hand in the air right now, in the order of worship, there's a link that you can do an online postcard, or I have some in my car. So after worship, if you're like, I must sign an actual physical postcard, remind me, and I will bring those inside so you can sign it. But we're trying to get a group of at least 10 people from Throop to be at Pasadena City Hall, and some of our Throop members will be there, and they are participating in a soon-to-be world-famous skit called Switch. Another way we are loving the world is by bringing in bottles of water for Friends Indeed Street Outreach Team. And as worship was starting, I saw one of you coming in and you had so much water you could barely hold it in your arms. And all that water is on the back table, and members of the social justice team are delivering it to Friends Indeed. And this morning we continue our October worship theme, a table full of blessings, by exploring the connection between limitations and blessings in our lives. If you're new, we would love to stay in touch. There's an info card in the seat back in front of you. You can fill that out and give it to the ushers during the offering. We begin our services each Sunday by lighting a chalice, symbol of Unitarian Universalism. And this morning, the Lamb Rosenberger family will share those words with us. And this moment is a reminder that each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with love, compassion, and justice, with this word from Kathleen Mature. Into the home we bring our hunger for awakening. We bring compassionate hearts and a will toward justice. Into this home, we bring the courage to continue after hard losses. Into this home, we bring our joy and gratitude for ordinary blessings. By our gathering, we bless this place. In its shelter, we know ourselves blessed. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop was once and is still the home of the Gabelino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into seeking justice and equity for all. We light the third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their water continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all this in our heart.
And we continue to welcome in the morning with the opening hymn, Morning Has Broken, number 38. We're not singing quite yet, but we invite you to follow along in that gray hymnal.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word. Greet the rain's new fall, solid from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where God's feet pass.
We take a moment and turn gently to our neighbors and welcome them into worship this morning.
Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, it ends all play. Praise with elation, praise every nation, God's recreation of the new day.
There's more social time immediately following the service in our coffee hour. You're all warmly welcome and invited to be part of that. And our responsive reading this month, our words that we say together are, we welcome all life to our table full of blessings. Let's try that together. We welcome all life to our table full of blessings. Let us ground ourselves in this season, ground ourselves in this time and space. Seeds have yielded all manner of fruit, all manner of consequences. We enter into this sacred space bringing our whole selves, the parts we like and the parts we don't. We welcome all life to our table full of blessings. We come together, each with our own harvest, seeking here a word of comfort, an experience of beauty, inspiration to guide us in our living. Let us ground ourselves in that purpose, ground ourselves in a sense of body and soul. We welcome all life to our table full of blessings. And whatever your harvest, whether it is pain or joy, here you are welcome, here you will be held. Let the warmth flow to you and through you. Feel the healing strength of this community and know here you are not alone, that here you have found companions for the journey. We welcome all life to our table full of blessings. And today's lesson is the Uncorker of Ocean Messages. And this lesson helps us connect with our fifth UU source, which is the source of humanist teachings which counsel us to heed the guidance of reason and results of science. And our Throop players, if you'll come forward to help us tell this story today. So the uncorker of ocean bottles sat way up high on a hill underneath one single tree, all alone. And the uncorker of ocean bottles had one very important job, and that job had only one very important task. The uncorker of ocean messages was supposed to find messages in glass bottles and deliver those messages to the correct recipient. Every day, the uncorker kept their eyes out on the waves, looking and looking for any glint of green glass bottles. Sometimes when the message came in, the uncorker only had to stroll to the nearby village to deliver that message. But other times, the uncorker had to travel miles and miles and miles to get it to the right person. Sometimes the messages brought so much sadness, but more often than not, they brought the person great joy. The uncorker of ocean messages really, really, really loved their job. And when he was really, really honest with himself and sat in silence for just long enough and listened to the own message that their heart was sending, well, honestly, there in that very high spot with only one tree for shade, sometimes the uncorker got lonely and wished more than anything that one day one of those green glass bottles would have a message just for them. One day, the waves delivered a bottle to him with a very strange message inside.
I'm not sure you will get this in time, but I'm having a party tomorrow evening tide at the seashore. Will you please come?
A party? On the beach? But there wasn't any name connected to the note. Who in the world was invited to this party? How was the uncorker gonna do their job correctly? Well, the uncorker decided that they were just gonna stroll right into town and ask some people if they recognized the handwriting. So the uncorker went into the town and started with the blacksmith and went up to the blacksmith and said, "Hey, I found this message. Do you recognize the handwriting?" The blacksmith said, "No, I've never seen that before." Well, okay, uncorker wasn't going to give up that easily. And then the uncorker found a townsperson wearing an orange hat and said, "Do you happen to know who wrote this note?" No, the person in the orange hat had no idea. And then the uncorker went to the person in town responsible for all the beautiful flowering plants and said, "Do you know who sent this message?" "No, but I wonder," the person said, "is this written on that special kind of paper that when you plant it, seeds sprout up out of the ground?" They weren't sure. "Sorry," everyone said, "but we wish we'd received an invitation to what sounds like an amazing party." Well, kind of sad, the uncorker went back to their lonely hill and sat underneath their one tree for shade and continued to peel their eyes on the waves for any other messages that would come in. No one could claim the letter. What? Nobody in the sky, the sand, the sea, and the uncorker really felt pretty low. This was the first time they had been unable to deliver a message. As he fell asleep that night, the uncorker decided, "I'm going to go to the seashore, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to tell the person who's hosting what is sure to be a fabulous party that I couldn't do my job and apologize. And hopefully they'll forgive me and I'll do better the next time." So the uncorker of ocean bottles made their way to the beach, and lo and behold, what did they find there? They found the most beautiful tables set with china and wine glasses and candles and a big bowl of fruit and food, and found all the townspeople there ready to eat and dance and laugh and party and have a good time. The uncorker's heart was filled to the brim. As the stars and the moon began to shine, the uncorker took out that bottle and message that they had been unable to deliver, and they just said, "You know what? I'm going to enjoy all that this evening has to offer with all of my new friends, and maybe I can deliver this message tomorrow." And thus the party continued on into the wee hours. Thank you, Throop players. And this week, our Kids Dig In program is led by Paula Trubisky and Vega. If you are a person who would love to be part of the Kids Dig In program, you can go with them. They'll be planting and learning about monarch butterflies and seeds and planting milkweed. And we usually sing our children out
We're not singing yet though, so here we go a cappella. For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be. And my heart is filled to the brim. That may be one of the first time I've heard other voices joining together in over 2 years. Thank you all for that, and have a great time in Kids Dig In. And the morning's reading is shared by Cynthia McDonald.
Each Day by Kristen Harper. Each day provides us with an opportunity to love again, to hurt again, to embrace joy, to experience unease, to discover the tragic. Each day provides us with an opportunity to live. This day is no different, this hour no more unique than the last, except maybe today, maybe now, among friends and fellow journeyers, maybe for the first time, maybe silently, we can share ourselves.
This is what it feels like to be free. Nothing here on earth can bury me. Release me and I'll rise into the sky. I have wings, wings, wings. I have wings, wings, wings. I have wings, wings, wings. I have wings. I won't hide anymore. I'll rise and let the sun shine through me. Keep the air underneath me. Now I know I can use these wings, 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 wings. I have wings, wings, wings. I have wings, wings. Now I know I can use them. Yeah, I know I can use them. These wings, now I'm free. I have wings, 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 wings. I have wings, wings, wings. I have wings, 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 wings.
We share of ourselves in so many different ways here to create a Throop community life. Thank you so much for sharing of your time and talent and treasure. For those of you that are able to offer a financial contribution today, you can do that now, and we thank you. You can give a gift to Wafik and Cynthia, about to come down the aisle as our ushers. You can give online. Those ways are in the order of worship. They're in the live stream chat. If you're a first-time visitor, we ask that you let the offering plate pass you by. The morning offering will now be gratefully received.
I keep my dirt on the surface so it don't gotta dig. The people that made me nervous try to hide all their sins. I got no reason to cover my tracks. The best part of learning is just love where you're at. So love where you're at. Yeah, love where you're at. Keep your dirt on the surface and just love where you're at. Wear my sins on my collar so everyone sees. There ain't no bother spreading rumors by me. I ain't no angel, but I ain't so bad. The best part of learning is just the love where you're at. So love where you're at. Yeah, love where you're at. Keep the dirt on the surface and just love where you're at. Love where you're at. Love where you're at. Keep the dirt on the surface and just love where you're at.
So with hearts filled with love, we share the response to our offering. Those words are in your order of worship. For the ministries of the church in our community, we bless our offering with love and hope. In the past week, I have personally been immersed in the Jewish holiday of Sukkot. It's a harvest festival. You create a beautiful temporary structure out in your yard. The ceiling of it is supposed to give you glimpses. You're supposed to be able to see through it so you can see the stars. And a part of the symbolism is to be a reminder of the beauty and the fragility of our world. And each week we say a promise to our planet together, and that too is a reminder of not just the beauty, but the fragility of our world, and the fact that it takes all of us together to keep shifting our practices, our policies, so that we can heal and bring peace to all of our world. And let's say the promise to our planet together. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. With hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources, we promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself. And holding in our hearts and in our minds that, again, that sense of the beauty, the fragility, really of just all of life, I invite you to take a breath in and to exhale. To take a breath in together. Exhale. letting the freshness, the peacefulness of this cloudy morning, a day after such much needed rain, letting those wet blessings, if you will, fall upon our hearts and souls as well. I know so many of us have felt parched in many different ways. Breath of life and breath of love, bring us into this present moment. And let us be open to the beauty of life that is before us. Open our eyes to see and experience you. Open our ears to the sounds of all that is. Open our hands to touch the wonder of life. Open our hearts to hold what is. And open our souls to welcome you. In our opening, may we know peace. In our opening, may we know joy. And in our opening, may we know love. And we continue to sit in a few moments of stillness, enjoying the underscoring of cooing baby sounds, and connect in with all that is opening in your own life. And for all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. Amen.
Seek not afar for beauty, lo, it glows. In dew-wet grasses all about your feet, in birds in sunshine, childish faces sweet, in stars and mountain summits topped with snows. Go not abroad for happiness, behold, it is a flower blooming at your door. Bring love and laughter home and evermore. Joy shall be yours as changing years unfold. In wonder working's awesome bush of flame, we look for truth and fancy it concealed. But in earth's common things it stands revealed, while grass and flowers and stars spell out the name.
Seeing a beautifully set table reminds me of one of my family's traditions that we enjoyed when I was growing up. We spent almost every Sunday afternoon at my grandmother's house having Sunday dinner. So Sunday dinner is a little bit confusing because in the South, Sunday dinner is not served in the evening. It's served at 1 p.m. at my family's house, which of course was the right way to do it. And my grandmother cooked a big meal, complete with mashed potatoes and gravy, green beans, some kind of salad, hot rolls fresh out of the oven, and a lemon meringue pie or an angel food cake. And my job was to get there a little bit early and help set the table. We would lay out a white tablecloth and then put her special gold-rimmed china plates out and these yellow glass goblets and her nice golden silverware. And it wasn't until I was much older and had a home of my own that I thought back to these Sunday dinners, and I was like, oh my gosh, she put a lot of effort into this every single week. Surely sometimes she did not want to do that, but we would never know. And as a child, I just knew that on those Sundays, sitting around the table with the light glinting off that gold-rimmed china, my hands grasping this goblet that was really almost too big for me to drink out of, I felt special and loved and seen. And I did not want that moment to end. Maybe your family had a similar tradition. Maybe you grew up with Friday night Shabbat dinners. Or maybe your families waited and did this type of thing on extra big holidays like Easter or Christmas or Passover or Rosh Hashanah. Maybe you didn't grow up with any of that, but later in life, when you created your own circle of care, your own chosen family, you may have created these special moments for one another. Maybe you found it at a church potluck somewhere along the way. These past few years, the ways we've gathered with friends and our family have changed so much. Our close circles offer us shelter in troubled times, and during these incredibly hard pandemic years, managing our emotional and spiritual lives took a lot of extra work. And we often had to do it in isolation from those circles that were used to supporting us. Similar to the uncorker of ocean bottles, we sat alone on our own high spot, maybe shaded by one single tree, wondering if we were ever going to get a message telling us it was safe to be together once again. Even today, we proceed with caution. Some of our Throop members aren't ready to come back and worship in person, so there you are with us online. We miss seeing them and hearing them and experiencing them in person. And for those of you that were active at Throop before the pandemic, some of you have said, when are we going to start doing some of those things that I love to do so much? Like, when are we going to sing together again? And are we ever going to, at the end of worship, kind of in this like weird jumbly way, make a not really a circle and hold hands or not hold hands, but at least kind of be connected together as we sing each other out into the rest of our week? The world is so much more open than it was even 6 months ago, and yet we continue to bump up against limitations. We still aren't moving quite as freely as we remember. Will I ever again invite a large group inside my house to sit around my dining table, or will we always from now on just eat together outside? Will I ever again feel comfortable in a crowd? And will I ever again, when I meet a new person, will I feel like I can move closer to them than just 6 feet? I don't know. The world feels so changed. Bumping up against these limitations happens all the time in life. We have money limitations, time limitations, energy limitations. How many times a day do we think, if I only had more money, I'd be able to go on this vacation I've been dreaming of? Or if I only had more time, I'd be able to plant the garden I've always imagined for myself. Or if I only had more energy, I would write that novel that's been bumping around in my mind for the past 10 years. If I only could find a message with my name on it, I'd be able to dance and laugh and enjoy life. It's so easy and so normal to feel like everyone else has been invited to the party but you. Everyone else figured it out. Everyone else figured out how to get enough money so they can go on that dream vacation. Everyone else figured out how to have enough time to plant that garden that's so stunning that makes all the neighbors stop and say, "You have a magical fairy place here." How did people ever figure out how to sit down in front of their computer and have the energy to write that novel? That's astounding. Recently, I was in a group of people who were sharing how they really felt in this moment in time. This moment in time where we are partially out, but still partially in pandemic mode. And my guess is that if you ran across this group of people, you might think of them as I thought about them. I thought, like, these are people who seemingly have everything together. They figured out the money, the time, the energy thing. How in the world did they do that? But then as they really started sharing what was on their hearts, how they really feel, they were using words like overwhelmed, stressed, tired, alone, isolated. Not words that would have come to my mind if I had met them on the street and without them openly sharing. They wore this sense of separation like an invisible cloak, unseen by others, but felt so acutely in their own hearts. They were longing for a sense of deep connection. And when we feel disconnected from self, from family, from earth, from what we name as sacred, from God, we run the risk of missing the message that was meant for us. We risk missing the party. And as this group continued to talk together, they articulated their own need to feel special, for someone to see them, to be known for all of who they are, to be present enough in their own lives to listen, to take in, to recognize moments of just simple joy that were available to them. Sociologist Margaret Wheatley wrote, "Sacred experiences are what we need to live in this strange yet wondrous time. We need as many sacred moments as we can find. We invite these moments when we open to life and to each other. In those grace-filled moments of greeting, we know we're all a part of this and that it's all right." Each of you has your own understanding of what you know as sacred. For some of you, it's reading poetry. For others of you, it's out on the streets marching for justice. For others of you, it's the scent of sage right after a rainfall. And in those moments, our hearts and minds open to that simple joy that reminds us that we are all indeed connected. In the week to come, I invite you to very intentionally seek out simple moments that are sacred to you. Light a candle. Make yourself that cup of tea. Remember to go outside and look at those seed pods that continue to form. Show up at City Hall a week from Monday if you are someone who feels the sacred with a group of people marching for justice. My own grandmother knew limitations in her life. We lived in a small southern town of 2,000 people, and she divorced at a time when most people in that town did not divorce. And in a town of 2,000, that was a very public thing for her to go through. And my grandmother knew the loss of her only son, who died at 45. And yet somehow through those moments, Sunday afternoon dinners continued to happen. She would put out that white tablecloth, invite me to put the china on the table. We would drink water and iced tea out of those yellow goblets. I think for her, it was probably that sense of a sacred, ordinary blessing of setting a beautiful table and being with people she loved that helped give her that sense of a simple joy. When my grandmother died, we all knew that the white tablecloth and the china and the goblets and that fancy silverware, they were all somehow going to make their way from Cave City, Arkansas to my place in Los Angeles. My mom and I carefully wrapped all that stuff up and dragged it over to UPS, and UPS put it on a truck and sent it over here. And now they live in my house, and they serve as reminders, and I think really they serve as their own messages, if you will, to slow down, to light candles, to continue to set that table even when life feels like it's so full of limitations, and to savor that moment. Because really and truly, our lives are meant to be celebrated together. Amen, and may it be so.
Love knocks and waits for us to hear, to open and invite. Love longs to quiet every fear and seeks to set things right. Love comes to heal the broken heart, to ease the troubled mind. Without a word, love bids us start to ask and seek and find. Love knocks and enters at the sound of welcome from within. Love sings and dances all around and feels new life begin.
Put one hand on your heart and reach out to someone in the room or someone on the live stream. Our chalice is extinguished. We carry its light with us into all that we do. Thank you, our live stream team of Steve and Zeke, Jacqueline, our musician today, Paula and Vega for leading our children's program, Throop players for helping to tell the story today. May we go out and celebrate all that is our lives, basking in the simple blessings of what life has to offer. I love you all. Go out and love the world. Amen, and blessed be.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always have that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance when you get the choice to sit it out or dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. And loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let someone's broken heart leave you bitter. When you're close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. When you get the choice, sit it out or dance. I hope you 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 never lose your sense of wonder. When one door closes, I hope one more opens. And promise me you'll give life a fighting chance. When you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance, dance, dance.
Alan Stone. It was yeah, oh, great. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I always feel so lucky to get to play here. They